Her scream shattered everything. Dad rushed up the stairs. The door wouldn't budge. He pounded on it, yelling her name, praying until it finally opened. She was on the floor, pointing. Her eyes were wide, wild, like she wasn't really seeing us, just something else. We ran outside, but the neighbors were waiting. They asked, "What did you see?" I still don't know if that was a nightmare or a true memory. But to explain how we got there, we have to start at the beginning. This story takes place in Kang'gan, an old coastal town in our province. We were just looking for a cheap place to rent. A family friend, who was the town's caretaker of old houses, offered an abandoned ancestral house. Big with a garden and cheap. The only catch, we couldn't use one locked room upstairs, and we couldn't touch one section of the garden. When we visited, the neighbors stared. Not curiosity, more like concern or warning. I shrugged it off. Just gossip. We lived there for a few months trying to settle in. But then, the house decided to make its move. Our nightmare began. Heavy footsteps echoed above, slow and deliberate, like boots pounding the floor like marching soldiers. Dad said it was just the wood settling. But what about the constant sound of a World War II fighting aircraft flying low over our roof? Loud, constant circling, but it never landed. We thought the soil was fertile. The vegetables in the forbidden section were thriving, practically glowing. So we started our own plot beside it. But our seedlings died even before they were in the ground, welting like something didn't want them there. Our nanny was the first to break. While washing dishes, she felt a persistent tug at her skirt. She ignored it, but when it happened again, she snapped and shouted at my youngest sibling to stop. But the reply came from the living room. My brother and sister were sitting quietly, staring at the empty space behind her. Later, in the comfort room, she heard heavy, slow footsteps right above her coming from the forbidden room. That's when her fear stopped being quiet. I got home from school, and my siblings told me everything. I went upstairs. With every step, I heard another echoing above me. The air near the top felt thick and wrong. I smelled burnt wires mixed with something damp, like soil left too long in the rain. I turned around and went back down. The nanny dropped the laundry. "I can't stay here," she said, voice cracking. When we woke up, she was gone. Our sister rolled her eyes. Just an empty room. We needed the place. We convinced ourselves we could live with the strange. Mom finally gave in. We lived there for months, but the house always waited for the right moment. The house finally made its move. Her scream shattered everything, sharp, high-pitched, full of terror. Dad rushed up the stairs. The door wouldn't budge. He pounded on it, yelling her name, then started praying, voice cracking. Only then did the door finally open. She was on the floor, frozen, stiff, pointing at the cabinet. Her eyes were wide, wild, like she wasn't really seeing us. Just something else. She kept screaming, kept trembling. She couldn't stop. We thought we could ignore the darkness in that house, but the darkness was still waiting. I ran outside, yelling for help. One of them leaned in and asked, almost too casually, "What did you see?" Not, "Is she okay?" But "What did you see?" Like they had been waiting for this. That same night, my youngest brother woke up gasping. Something was sitting on his chest, crushing him. He smelled burnt wires and manure. The same rotting scent from the upstairs room. That was the last straw. We relented and decided to leave. Later, we found the truth. The family who lost the house fell victim to a scam. The mother retreated into silence, spending her final days in that upstairs room. They found her there. Peaceful, yes, but the kind of peace that feels too still, too final. She loved the garden, especially that forbidden patch. Maybe that's why nothing else would grow. Something had taken root and never left. We thought it was a ghost, but I'm not so sure now. What we felt, what we heard, it didn't feel like grief. It felt like hunger. So if you ever find a beautiful old home with a price too good to be true, ask again. And listen carefully to what the neighbors don't say. Some houses never forgave.